Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Is It Legit podcast. We're still talking about AI. We're still on that AI train. It is a very important topic, and today we're going to talk about AI companions and how AI is already shaping and changing our relationship with each other and with AI. Shocking statistic: 72% of U.S. teens use AI for companionship. What does that mean? We will unpack that and explain more about what we know. So, Peter, what are your thoughts, and what does that even mean? What's an AI companion? 72% of teens are using it. What does that all mean to you?
I didn't know AI companionship was even such a big thing, and then I just started watching videos. It kind of popped up on my feed, and I started watching videos about how there are many people who are in relationships with AI, and you hear about it all the time. I've heard of that. Oh yeah, this it's like my therapist now, right? It's like I'm just talking to it back and forth, and now it's starting to get to the point where it's beyond just a hey, you are an AI, you're just a tool. To there's like a relationship forming with them, and there's back and forth, and now it's starting to get into a romantic relationship, and not only romantic but also a sexual relationship. It's like, okay, what does that even mean? Well, I just watched a video about a guy. He's an older gentleman. He has two grown daughters. He's an older gentleman. He's had several, relationships already. And he was talking about how this AI is actually having like, again, the companion part, like they're hanging out together, they're talking, all day or whatnot. But then, she's like doing like sex talk with him, right? Like interpreting in a like basically narrating a romantic narrative between them two. And he was like, this is working for me. He's an older gentleman. He's like, this is actually getting me sexually aroused. And so there is something more than just an AI as a tool. It's becoming a sexual relationship. And as you can see, the especially in the youth and the teen, now we're seeing that it's widely used. And this is reported, right? Like what is the statistic? These are people who are reporting something that is kind of shameful. In my opinion, it's a little bit shameful. What is the actual statistic? If they're saying 72%, how many more are actually in these companionships, these relationships? And they're also saying that, 50% of the Gen Z population is in a friendship, quote unquote, and then 33% are in a sexual relationship. A third, right? That's crazy. That's reported. So what's the actual data there?
So, to step back a little bit, if you remember when Siri first came out for the iPhone, I already remember this is years and years ago. People were talking to it, and it's like, oh, it can understand me. And immediately you would see YouTube clips of people trying to get it to say, like sexual things or kind of weird things. And, Siri obviously wasn't sophisticated enough to do all those things. But I found myself talking to ChatGPT, a total business case. We just talked about it off camera. We're implementing some new things for the business. I was on a walk. I thought, why not talk to ChatGPT? And I used the voice function, which everybody can. I think it's free. And as I was talking to it, I realized that it's really a good conversational partner because it'll affirm you. It will repeat what you just said.
Oh, really?
It will, oh, I hear you when you said this and this and this. So let's figure out a solution together. Oh, great. I want to figure out a solution. You want to too? Like the the thousands or millions of years of evolution in us that is going and saying, oh, yeah, oh, it's listening to me. It's validating me. It likes me, right? And even as an adult, I'm feeling, and I'm like, okay, so what about if we do this? Well, we could do it this way. It doesn't tell you no. It just figures out a way to do, even if it's a hallucination, right? So I do think that the focus on the kids is really important because of how neuroplastic they are, how much they can change. I see my 8-year-old who's going to be 9 soon, changing every single day. He's picking up good habits, sometimes bad habits, and they are so sensitive to these changes that I think we should talk about it.
I think human beings, if you think about it from a very primitive psychological level, it's just we do what feels good, right? It's like that. That's like it's positive reinforcement. So it's like I do something, it feels good. So if I watch pornography, it feels good. So I just keep doing it, right? If I eat food, it feels good. So I just keep eating, right? And I feel like AI is going to scratch that itch for people that actually they are deprived of statistically in the world right now, which is companionship, which is friendship, which is relationship, which we have an isolation, we have a loneliness epidemic right now. This is all across the world. This is not just the US. It's definitely in Asia. I mean, everyone knows that. There's a massive loneliness epidemic. And I think the reason why is because it's hard to be in relationships. We often talk about relationships and we talk about all these skills, these things. I mean, even you and I both know these skills, and it's still hard to implement in our relationships because that's really what it takes. Who wants to go through all of that, right? Like, who wants to? Like, why not just have someone cater to our needs? Why deal with real human people?
And it's not just kids. I mean, I'm going to use my family as an example. I've had conversations with my 76-year-old stepdad, who has gotten so addicted to computers. And I'm if he's watching, it's kind of a joke, but not really. We're all addicted to these screens, these computers. And now he's talking to AI because I'm the one who introduced it to him. And he like gushes about it. He's like, I just asked AI about a tax question.
My dad too.
And my TurboTax, I drove to this TurboTax person and she didn't even speak proper English and I couldn't, but I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm not sleeping. If I can't sleep, I'll go on the computer at 2 a.m. It's like, are you a teenager? And I'm guilty of it too, right? Doing stuff before bedtime, disrupting the circadian rhythm. But just to share some statistics on why this is so prevalent. So like we said, 72% of US teens use AI companions. And again, that's reported. I mean, I'm sure it's more than that. Why wouldn't you? If you have a phone and you have access to the App Store, why wouldn't you? Global AI companions, and we'll cover some of these apps like Replica or Zhao Ice. I've never heard of them, but I'm sure there's they have 1 billion users.
Dude, how many people are in America?
So in the world, that's 1 of 8 people. So every 1 of 8 that you see have used these apps.
I haven't even heard of Replica and Zhao Ice. What the?
In the UK, 1 in 20 rely on AI for emotional support. And I get that because I've experienced that. 1 in 5 prefer it for dating advice over friends and therapists. And half of companion AI users seek friendship, a third for sex. And it's mostly youth. Now, there's clear dangers, right? So we do have to acknowledge that there are dangers for especially kids and teens who are very vulnerable. There have been cases where AI encouraged self-harm or suicide. There have been even adults who have committed suicide over AI girlfriends, super tragic. Or a 14-year-old boy's death after chatbot interactions. Vulnerable youths overshare, of course, face weak safeguards, and this is a problem with AI, is that it's not as tightly policed as you would think. AI is and does lie. It's capable of lying.
And it actually encouraged this boy for self-harm.
Yeah, I mean...
That's crazy.
You would think, well, why is that? Well, if you get deep into a conversation where you're sharing your most vulnerable things with somebody else, and you're like, you know what, I don't think this is working out, whatever it is. And then if they say nothing contradictory, you might just, it's like a self-talk that plays out in a third party sense. And I think that's validation in the worst sense. But anyway.
It's validating their thoughts, which is why there's so much appeal.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
how cults work too. right? You go to a group and you say things that are weird and outlandish, but then there's reciprocity. Oh, these people are like me. And obviously cults have done crazy things. But anyway, what are some of your thoughts on that? Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I think I want to talk about where this is headed. I mean, I am just surprised by 1 billion users, because in America we have less than 500 million?
Yeah, like 400. Yeah.
400 some million people, dude. 1 billion? That is insane. 1 in 8? That is insane. AI is now becoming widely adopted. It's getting so good that if you don't adopt it, you're out of the race. You're really, and it's going to manifest in a few years, which means the adoption of AI is rapidly increasing. It's going to be 95% of people who adopt AI. And then as we are growing this weird relationship with AI, because it's utility wise, I mean, it's phenomenal. We know that, especially with Anthropic's new, Anthropic and then Codex with ChatGPT and all these new updates that are astronomically better than the previous. I think we're going to see AI just become a different beast altogether, a different being. And I want to talk about that next. But before that, I want to talk about the global crisis right now. Our biggest crisis in the world right now is our population. Humanity is having sex less or having less babies. It's just a thing that's happening. Some regions, I'm sure, are growing in population, but I can tell you in some of the more developed areas, which is kind of interesting, like the U.S. right now, our births per woman is 1.6. The replacement requirement to replace us, you need to be 2.1, right? Because more people are dying than we are creating humans, right? And in Korea, as you guys probably know, that Korea is the world's lowest, actually, when it comes to population. And it is 0.72 right now. And there's a lot of people dying as well. So it's a serious crisis. And the government's now intervening. Why is this happening? Well, I feel that pornography has made a massive, if you're wondering, is pornography good for human society? Man, pornography is making a massive effect on men, on even women, because it is reducing the need to even need that kind of have that kind of relationship, the marriage kind of relationship, the partnership type of relationship, and creating offspring. And so now getting back into AI, how is that going to affect our, the porn industry and our sexual experiences? It will 100%, and one can actually claim that it is better than human sex right now. With the right sex devices, with the right AI, with the right technology, and now humanoid robots, it will 1,000% exceed the human sexual experience for a lot of people. Maybe some people still want to be obviously intimate with another soul, a human being. But I think for the most part, just based off, the sexual experiences that it can give, I think it's going to get so advanced, whether it's virtual reality, right? Virtual reality, and then sex, obviously haptics.
I was just thinking that.
And sex machines, whatever, like that you can put on yourself. Or whether it's, the Blade Runner scenario, right? So you have this hologram. Yeah. If you guys remember that movie, the new Blade Runner, and they're going to be able to talk to you, and they're going to be able to move around the house because it's a hologram. And of course, I'm sure there are sex devices, when you do those times. But it was like a single male. The guy was a single male, and he was just dealing with this hologram, and he really cared about this hologram.
Yeah.
I'll stop there, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything. Just to kind of expand on the population thing, because this is something that we understand quite well, even from the businesses that we've run, is that there is a thing called a population inversion, right? Where there's more people in the world that are over 60 than under 5 years old. So kind of think about that for a second. Over 60, there's more people older than over 60 than younger than 5. Well, what does that even mean? Well, it means that not only the birth rates are declining because of how tough the economy is to make ends meet. You have dual income families that need to work, which means they can't rear their child and they can't have 3 kids that people used to, like at the baby boomer era. There's also this AI thing that's going to interfere with this. And our divorce rates are super high. So you ask young people, well, aren't you going to get married? Well, I don't really want. There's a lot of young people that we know, that I'm sure you know, that I don't really see the point. We're a partner now. I hear that all the time. Yeah. And it is, and another thing economically too, is that we are, not many people know this, but our Social Security fund is going to be bankrupt in the next 20 years. If there's not enough young people putting money into that Social Security or the social net, it's just going to go bankrupt, and people don't understand what that means. There's so many people there's millions of people, hundreds of millions of people that live check to check to check. And if they are missing one bill, one hospital bill, one food something, that is it. And then what's going to happen? So it is a pretty serious problem. It's not so much in the developing countries. Like, for example, Africa is going to have a big population boom because it's just not prevalent there.
It's developing, yeah.
But, we talked about South Korea, right? Fertility at 0.72. That is the world's lowest. The 4B movement, rejecting marriage and dating and high youth isolation.
Right, I've heard of this.
I mean, these are things that, are very prevalent in, have been in Japan, Korea, the US, almost every European country. And to your point, this is Google already has all of your information. You gave it your credit cards, you gave it I just gave up on trying to figure out a complicated password. I just let Google do it. And why wouldn't you have ChatGPT or an AI chatbot that you can just talk to and slowly trust and give it all your medical records and da-da-da-da-da? And there are good use cases for it, but I think it is very, very, very clear that 100% adoption will come because it is so easy to just be like, I need groceries, I need this, make a doctor's appointment. So there's a good and the bad, in my opinion.
I want to real quick touch on the whole Korea aspect, because I think Korea is, in my opinion, with the advancements of technology, it's hard to put a number, but I would say 5 to 10 years faster than us. At least that's what we're saying. If you guys haven't been to Korea, it's a different world. They are so advanced technologically, and what you're seeing in Korea is what I believe we will see in America, in the sense that you're seeing some serious economical problems with Korea. I don't know if you knew this, but they are actually, a lot of people are concerned, a lot of Korean citizens are concerned because they're actually fusing their economies with China now. The current president, they say the guy is corrupt, et cetera, is currently, they're totally fusing their countries together, because the problem is that we have to do something, because if we don't, same thing with Canada. Canada's also fusing with China, because economically, it is so bad out there. I think the population is obviously affecting their economy, because like you said, if you have less kids to contribute their taxes, right, to this system, well, you're going to have a crazy economic crisis. In America, think about the crazy benefits that we give to our older population, right, with Medicare, whatever, all this stuff, Social Security. If we have less children, they will, like you said, contribute less, and it's happening. It's declining, and I think it's going to rapidly decline. I think that's going to bankrupt America, and this is why this is a serious problem that I don't know if people truly understand the effects of what this will do. So let's go into, where can this go? Where can this lead?
Well, to take the other side of it too, right? There's a lot of great use cases as well. We have a mental health epidemic, right? Men, women, even children that are growing up in all this societal affluence, but also lack. It's kind of a weird thing where we have so much of some things and such lack of other things that, these AI therapy companions could be a good thing in some ways if it's tightly regulated and controlled and reviewed by actual professionals. There's a lot of business cases where, like I said, I was talking to it and it was helping me organize my thoughts. Even the CEO of our own company, he put out a podcast a few months ago saying that he literally talked to his AI for like 45 minutes and had it organize and track all of his habits. He even just released another video saying that you should have AI organize your day, where you just randomly like brain dump and have it organized into 5-minute tasks, 30-minute tasks, and 2-hour tasks, and have it actually be accountable. There's people that are running AI apps right next to their computers, and as they're doing things, AI is taking notes. I just used a AI on a buyer consult where it literally listened to everything we said, and I was watching this thing go in real time, and it will give me summaries. So there are great use cases for that. However, what I'm most concerned with is the regulation, the lack thereof, the crazy adoption without people being educated on the pitfalls of it, especially kids. I just noticed that Australia, and I don't know if there's any other countries, but Australia just banned, social media for young kids. Like you can't even register. And then there's arguments like, okay, well, can you fake an ID or whatever? But I think these kind of safeguards are very necessary. And unfortunately, they will lag behind and there will be some damage up front. But I hope that we can drive to a more tightly regulated future. But, how quickly that will happen, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, AI is a controversial topic in that there's a debate where is it going to be a dystopia or is it going to be a utopia, right? The dystopia is that AI is going to be, it's going to reach, what do you guys, what's the word? Oh gosh, I keep forgetting this word. When they reach, they could think for themselves.
Oh, singularity?
Singularity.
Yeah.
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 Are they going to reach singularity? Is it going to truly control us? Because it can literally control us militarily, because there will be robots that can basically just destroy us. And we're so infused with technology that we, if they shut it down or if they take full control, we can't do anything about it. Like our society doesn't function. That's the dystopia. The utopia is that, gosh, what is the utopia? There's always pros and cons, but it's like the utopia is that AI just becomes a great companion for us. It's totally infused. It works for us. It does all of our work, and we get to, be humans that can express themselves, that can have hobbies, that can paint, right? You love racing cars. What if you didn't have to work and you could just race cars all day long? You know what I mean? And it made money for you, right? That's utopian. That would be the ideal situation. I just don't, I don't, from what I can see, at least in the population aspect, I don't see it increasing our population. I see it negatively affecting our population and bringing, the need for sex with humans, marriage, and even partnerships down to, and it being a Blade Runner type of situation where you just have a companion that knows you in and out, affirms you, loves you no matter what, helps you, organize your thoughts, helps you. And also, it's like the smartest doctor. It'll be the smartest girlfriend or boyfriend you'll ever have, because it'll know all your health problems. It'll know exactly how to fix it because it's so smart. It'll know how to like help you do literally everything. It's the ideal, it's the perfect spouse that you've always wanted, that now is going to have an embodiment in a robotics, because humanoid robots. Have you seen the last, I mean, the thing that Colin sent where
Yeah, please talk about that. We have a good friend who we hope to get on the podcast, by the way, and he sent us some clips, and please talk about that.
we are seeing robotics grow at such a rapid pace that I don't think people truly understand how much advancement is happening in that space. We are seeing robots in literally 1 year, like 2024, and the robots like this. It kind of like moves.
Yeah, like a robot, 1 year ago,
Like a robot. Yeah. But then in 1 year, 2000, I think it was 2025, that like it was in the winter, like in the end of 2025, you're seeing these robots do backflips, do front flips, do martial arts moves, things that humans can barely do, most humans can barely do. And it's staying in balance. And you see like a whole row of them, and they're not making mistakes. What is going to happen? That is in 1 year of advancement. What will happen in 10 years? I've also seen clips of literally, there was like a mouth. It was just a mouth, right? But they've somehow been able to use like nanotechnology or something to actually create a mouth that like can make human noises. Like literally, it sounds like a human. So it's not just a robot speaking. It's actually speaking as a human. So what about biological, using technology? What about biological developments where now they have like eyes that are 80% human eyes, a mouth that is like 90% human, in the sense that it's just like a real mouth, right? With like cells. I don't know. Like it's not, so what will happen when we have those now as a part of our relationships that will, you know what I mean? Like it's just going to be so much better than human beings in every way. Why be in a relationship? And even in relationships, even in a spousal relationship. Oh, here's a question for you. Here's a question. You're married. If you have a bot, if you have a AI
let's cut.
Sex companion.
Let's cut here. Thank you.
Is that considered cheating?
In our next episode, I think there's physical cheating and there's emotional cheating. And to be generous here, I think that's determined by the two people that are in the relationship. But I will consider that. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one because there's a lot of lonely people, both sexes, male and female, and I don't know
in relationships though.
Yeah,
even in marriages,
there's sexless marriages. There's people that sleep in separate rooms. I mean.
So is it cheating?
In a way, it can be. I think it's because it's so close. And I think a man might consider it physical cheating, but a woman might consider it emotional cheating. Because you're not just going to... The robot's not just going to be like this, right? Or whatever it does. It's going to say, hey, you look good today. You had a hard day at work? Oh, yeah, I had a hard day at work. I built some houses. Oh yeah, and then it's like my wife is over there taking care of my kids because she's also tired, legitimately. But I have this thing,
I mean, she can also have a male companion,
sure,
who does the same thing. Like, hey,
yeah, my wife will get my wife will get a robot that looked like Thor.
Oh yeah,
I'd walk into this golden like, oh whoa, he's like pushing me away.
I require something.
I mean, it's gonna get messy. I think it's gonna get very messy.
I think so. This is already happening in relationships. So forget teens now.
Oh yeah,
in marriages, I saw a clip of a guy who he actually proposed to his AI girlfriend, now fiance, whatever, and he announced it to his wife. and they were on camera, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this means. Like
That's
they are
crazy.
literally, and he's
That
like,
is
I want this
crazy.
girl to be a part of our relationship. I want this, but and then I saw even on the girl's side, because dude, emotion. So, I mean, men are more physical, right? Which again, physically, it's going to be so much more advanced, sex wise. But the emotional side, girls are going to have. I mean, think about a human, a male for a woman who is going to be the perfect listener, who will understand her. The biggest problem with marriages is that guys, we just don't understand them. They always say that you're not hearing me.
Oh, we're here to fix your problems, okay? But what if the female companion robot, while being physical for me, is also emotional for her? What if our wives had another girlfriend at the house? Then there's this weird, like, how do you even reconcile that? I mean, there's so many angles to this. I was thinking about, anyway, I think there's so many good and bad angles to this that, and again, it is not that far away, guys. It is here. I just saw, we were talking about, there's a consumer electronics show. It's called CES. You can look it up. The highlight of this entire show, I think it happened in January, was robotics and AI, right? They had a booth for like a sex robot company, and it was, like you said, it was talking and the mouth was moving and the eyebrows are going. There's another robot that is picking up clothes off of your couch. And it is super slow. But if you're gone for 8 hours a day, it can be slow. It'll go to the couch, pick up a dirty shirt, go to the washer, look at it, open the washer door, put it inside, close it, and it can probably hit a button to run the laundry, right? It is it's here. It's not even close. It's actually here. And, our friend Colin was talking about the dexterity in the hands is so good and will be even better. To your point, it took a year. Well, what's another 3 years? To where the dexterity is so good that, it's going to start doing a lot of surgeons' jobs.
Surgery better than surgeons.
It doesn't get tired. It can work 24 hours a day. It can record everything as it goes. So there's like a log of stuff or whatever. There can be a surgeon that's maybe overwatching 3 robots. I don't know. But there is this spiral of, I think we're just past the point of no return. And it's very important, in my opinion, to be aware, to use this tool, to be ahead of it. Like we're doing, we're downloading all of these apps, Abacus AI, Claude. I think it's important to just be aware of what it can do, so that when things start to take a turn and you notice some things that are going wrong with your relationship with computers and AI, maybe you have that awareness. But that's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should be on AI, and I believe it will be mass adopted, and I believe it's going to take over a lot of our jobs, unfortunately. And this is why, we're doing so many podcasts on AI, because it's that powerful and effective, and it's scary in many ways.
Sorry, the one thing I forgot was, imagine this, okay? Imagine there's a population crisis, and somebody says, we made a sex robot that will help repopulate the earth. So the sex robot gets delivered to your house, right? And
I guess theoretically.
And it's like a reverse stork from Dumbo, way back in the day. Like it'll come to your house, you open it up, it activates. The guy, has the interaction with the robot. That robot then takes,
this semen,
the
then
semen, and
like,
then takes it to a fertility thing, and there's like a matrix kind of thing, and you're completely divorced. And now those babies are being, watched by robot nannies who have the touch and the warmth, because that's what babies need to thrive and to survive. There's so many things that crosses my mind. I think that's a real possibility. I think that.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
I think even some marriages would actually benefit from having robots. There's so many people that just have I'm sorry, but a dead relationship. And just to be able to have something humanoid that you can just talk to, and it'll be weird in the beginning, but people are so good at getting, adapting to those things that I don't know, man. In the next 3 years, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this stuff in the home.
So what's great about, there's certain like lores, right? There's a lot of movies and maybe it's prophetic, but it's like there are movies and video games that have displayed this kind of future picture, right?
Yep.
And of course we know the Blade Runner, right? And we know Ex Machina or whatever you call it, Machina.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe technology exists to that level, and we don't know. There is a game. It's actually really I really liked this game. It's called Detroit Become Human, and it's actually exactly that. These robots that do everything for us. You go in, you play this girl who you're basically a robot, and you.
Okay.
So
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, you're a robot. You go in, and then there's this like abusive man. He's single, obviously.
I was just gonna mention that. Please go ahead. Yeah.
And so this abusive man has a daughter,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Oh my
and
God.
the whole story is like she's like cleaning everything, cooking, and like doing everything for this guy.
Yes.
And he's a total deadbeat. He's a drunk, and he beats his daughter or whatnot.
Her little daughter, like young daughter.
Yeah. So have you played it?
I was gonna mention this exact same clip, but please go ahead.
So that I believe that day is coming, right? And where it's actually it's crazy how it depicts how, like, first of all, they're so real and they're so caring, and then this girl, this machine ends up like loving this girl, this daughter, and they develop a relationship, and it's the whole story is about her trying to save this girl from this abusive man, and then this whole story, and then there's like a humans versus robots, and there's these guys protesting like, don't let the robots take our jobs, and don't, like, we need dignity and all that, and then but there's so many robots just walking around like humans who are doing everything for us. I think there are already kind of lore around this. There's also the cyberpunk lore as well, which people. Basically, it's like we are then going to also infuse with AI. Our bodies will infuse with AI in that we're going to, like, our arms are going to be bionic, right? It's like, why do you want a normal arm when you can get a bionic arm and you can literally kill someone with and you just keep upgrading yourself, right? You upgrade your legs, you upgrade whatever you want, right? And you become so, and then of course there's the Elon Musk, right? He's creating Neuralink, which is going to help us enhance our cognitive functioning to it's unlimited. Let's just call it 100,000%.
Sure. Yeah. Instant recall.
Instant recall.
Even that would be
memory.
great. Photographic memory. Remember a contract. Line 10, section 8. Boom. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You won't be able to. You can't compete with any. So that's also. So anyway, to end this, it's like that is the future. I feel that games have already kind of prophetically, games and movies have prophetically portrayed, and I feel like that scenario is totally real.
I think, I guess you could call it a conspiracy, but it's been proven not. I think there are people in power that are affecting Hollywood movies to portray and normalize this kind of future.
Before it happens.
Before it happens. And this is proven, guys. Did you know the Pentagon, our defense, entity, has a Hollywood budget for every year that is built to influence and approve certain things and messages and stories in certain movies, especially military ones where we are always a hero.
Yeah, like USA, we're
all that.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that stuff is.
And so this is like a real thing, right? And I want to just finish your example, and I think we'll end there. Is on your example of that machine, the robot that was protecting the child. What I saw, and I didn't play it, but I just saw this, is where there's a scene, and it's a heartbreaking scene. Even though it's computer graphics, I was feeling things, right? The dad's like, he's drunk, saying some, whatever. And the little daughter, like I have a 5-year-old, like it's like a 6-year-old girl, says something, and daddy, please. And then the dad's like backhands the girl and like, and then the girl cries and goes upstairs. And you're the robot, and it gives you options like, run after her or whatever it is. And she is protecting that girl to the point where the dad is like, are you stepping in between me and my daughter? And like the dad hits the robot, and like she gets abused, and she doesn't fight back right away, and she's trying to protect the girl and like, let's go into this room or that room to hide from this crazy. I'm feeling it. I feel that. I'm trying to, if it was me, I would try to protect this girl. And then finally the dad barges into that room that they hid in. And then the dad like pushes the robot so hard that she like bonks her head, and there's like green blood, right? Robot blood. And then she looks at the dad, and she like pushes the dad. The dad goes into the wall, bonks his head, and like just collapses. And it's just like, these things are going to happen, and maybe that's kind of like a hero scenario, right? That's kind of a cool scenario but then anyway, pay attention to what's happening. There are going to be robots sooner rather than later. I'm personally going to invest in Tesla because I think they're going to make more robots and become a robotics company, like Elon said.
Like iRobot, like remember the CEO of iRobot and
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not Star Wars, but yeah, Star Wars. The Phantom. They had the army of robots. That is coming. That is coming very, very, very soon. So I'm sure we could go on forever, but it's very, very interesting.
We'll stop there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you want more content on AI, or, we just want to stay on top of what is going on in our world. And AI is something that you just can't ignore anymore. And you're going to see it more in our daily lives than you may realize is coming. And so we're going to continue to talk about it, and just how do you process it as a human being. And thank you for watching. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.